A very good evening to you, dear viewer, from wherever you are catching us from. This is Westnile TV, lighting up the region, and this is the Real Talk with me, Ayot Lillian, every Saturdays from 8 to 10 p.m. Well, the biggest question that we are answering today is, what do beauty queens do, or what is a pageant? But we'll get into that. I know the weekend has been very hectic for all of us, and now that the weekend is here, I know we are relaxing and here and there, but still some people have tight weekends. So this is the perfect time for you to sit back and just stay on your TV or on your phone if you're catching us on our YouTube channel to be a part of this discussion. Remember, you can discuss whatever you have, whether it's a question or a comment. You can leave it on our YouTube channel. Just go on Westnile, like, subscribe, and there you have it. Well, today we are answering one of the biggest questions that people have been answering in the communities, and that is we're talking about beauty pageants today. I know most people be asking questions, but why should they be having these pageants? What do these queens do? Is there any kind of impact they leave? And people have been attaching a lot of things negative and positive to it. So when we briefly talk about a beauty pageant, these are beauty contests that are held where the contestants come, showcase the physical attributes. It goes beyond that, if I may say. So they also examine your IQ, the poise, your walk, how you present yourself. There's a lot of things behind these things, and still people continue to ask questions. And so we have very many pageants worldwide. We have a Miss World, Miss Universe. These are the top pageants. We have Miss Earth, and some of them are not yet here in Uganda, but in the context of Uganda, we also have a lot. We have Miss Uganda, we have Miss Tourism Uganda, we have Miss Earth, we have Miss Ecosystem, Miss Ecotourism, and all that. So by the end of this discussion, you'll be able to tell the difference between these pageants. You'll be able to understand why these pageants are organized, and you will change your mentality, whatever mentality you have about these pageants. So it's a pleasure to introduce our guests today. We have the beauty queens with us here in the studio. We have Miss Tourism Westnile 22nd runner-up Miss Tourism Westnile 2021-2022 is here in the studio. She's called Miss Lillian Frida. She's joining us in this discussion. And we have our current Miss Uganda Westnile 2023-2024, Celine Jackie Asibazio, here in the studio. So they'll be joining us in this discussion so that we break down beauty pageants, make you the viewer understand, and also see why you should appreciate these beauty contests. Without further ado, let's get to know our guests. Let them say hi to our viewers. You're most welcome to the studio of Westnile TV. Please say hi to our viewer.
Hi Westnile, my name is Lillian Frida. Glad to join you.
Thank you so much, Miss, for being here in the studio. It's a pleasure. I hope whatever you prepared for our viewer, you're just going to unveil it, and they'll be able. But you can ask these queens questions on our YouTube channel. You leave your comment, and they'll directly answer your questions, and that is the beauty with it. You're most welcome to Westnile TV. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you so much, Lillian. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, thank you.
So to our viewers, my name is Celine Jackie Asibazio. I'm an architect, I'm a psychologist.
Okay.
Also the reigning Miss Uganda Westnile. I'm so happy to be here.
It's a pleasure having you here. So, first things first, I know someone out there is asking, what is a beauty pageant? We'll start with you.
Oh, okay. What I would say is a beauty pageant is actually a competition that is between young women, whereby they are judged according to their beauty, according to their presentation, according to their performances, intelligence, and all that.
Okay, that is how you, the beauty, the intelligence, the performance, and all those aspects are considered. Celine, what would you say a beauty pageant is, and give us at least 5 examples of the pageants that you know?
My understanding of beauty pageants, because I've been in the industry for a while, it's traditionally it focuses on ranking. It's a competition. It focuses on ranking people depending on their beauty, depending on their physical aspects, their intellectuals, and all that. So currently we have a lot of beauty contests, beauty pageants in the world. We have Miss World, we have Miss Universe, we have Miss Earth, we have Miss Supranational, and then we have Miss International. So basically those are the main ones worldwide, but in Uganda we have Miss Uganda, we have Miss Earth, we have Miss Tourism Uganda, we have Miss Global Earth, which just recently happened. So there are actually many in our country.
Wow, quite many beauty pageants out there. You can always choose where you belong according to the, what inspires you and what you want to do. So we want to tackle one of the biggest questions as to why are these beauty pageants organized? We're meant to know that all these pageants have different purposes. So why are they organized? Starting with Miss Lillian.
What I can say is these beauty pageants are always organized especially for the girl child. That's why they're called the Miss, not the Misters. So it's actually a platform that is set for the ladies, actually girls, young women, to actually tell their stories in a unique way, to accept themselves. Because now, like, when these things are organized, they always, they look at the performance, intelligence, the beauty, the confidence. So you realize that this thing is prepared for us, the girl child, as a platform so that we can tell our stories.
Okay, to inspire the girl child and all that. But we're meant to understand there are also pageants for men, Miss and Mister. There are pageants who have Miss and Misters, but there are those that are exclusively for the Misses. They're interesting. Miss Asiwazio Celine, why do they organize Miss Uganda?
One of the most interesting things about Miss Uganda is it allows you to tell your story to people. So when you go there, they give you that opportunity because your story actually sells you. But then besides your story, it boosts your confidence as a girl child. You learn to be a leader for the people in your community. You become so confident. You wouldn't lack anything like self-esteem. That's one of the most beautiful things about beauty pageants. Your self-esteem increases to the maximum. I think I can testify to that. It has really boosted my confidence, my self-esteem, and then along that, it has helped me reach the people in my community. You get to meet the people who are not privileged enough to maybe think that beauty pageants are actually other things. So it gives you that opportunity to actually inspire people that, you know what, much as you're in the deep village, you can actually contest for this. So inspiring people, it empowers the girl child. It does a lot of things in my view,
Okay, inspiring the girl child, empowering the girl child. A lot actually is involved in this beauty pageant. So if you've been wondering why these beauty pageants are organized, then there you have it. But still, I know someone says, I want to contest in this pageant, and then someone says, you're not fit for that pageant and all that. So Miss Lillian, that brings us to the question, what does it take for one to contest in a beauty pageant?
Thank you. Actually, it takes, first of all, self-interest. Like, are you interested? Meaning that is the first motivation. Are you interested? Do you want to, contest? Secondly, the requirements. Because there are different pageants, they have different requirements. Some will say it's from this age to this age. So do you fall in that age? Others also consider the size, the height, and all that. So first, it's your interest, whether you're ready to do that. Secondly, it's whether you match the requirements. And anyone can contest.
So there, it's open. Anyone can contest. Yeah, anyone can contest. And like she said, these beauty pageants all have different qualifications. Miss Tourism has different terms and conditions, and Miss Westnile has Miss Westnile Uganda, Miss Uganda Westnile has a different one, Miss Earth has a different one. So you just find where you fall. And still dealing with who can contest for this beauty pageants. You know, most people have been saying these beauty pageants are only for the beautiful people, but people have beauty standards, so they just assume these girls, there's some specific girls who are supposed to contest. An example is the current Miss Uganda competition that was just held. You know, people are like, this is the first time Uganda has crowned the rightful person, she's beautiful, la 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 la. So Celine, I would ask you, apart from beauty, what else do they consider in these pageants? Is it beauty that they majorly look at?
No, to me, I do not think it's beauty alone, because when you are crowned Miss Uganda, you are set to represent Uganda at the international level, that is Miss World. So just choosing beauty alone, remember when you go for Miss World, you are putting projects out there. You have to know how to present your project. You have to be eloquent and be educative enough to know all these things. So in my opinion, I do not think it's only beauty. Of course, there are things that they do consider. Miss World, first of all, has its standards of height. There's a height you have to reach for you to go to Miss World. So they consider height. It's not about beauty. We have seen people who are not that but yeah, and they actually win. Yeah, they win. But to me, it's the way you present yourself. It's how confident you are. Are you able to represent your nation to that level that people want it to be? So it's a lot of things besides beauty. I do not think it's only beauty, but it adds. I would say beauty adds somehow, some percentage.
Okay, if beauty adds some percentage, then that means you guys usually have boot camp. So what are some of the activities that you have in boot camp? I believe maybe they consider them for for the final marks and all that and all that. So what are some of these activities that you do in boot camp?
Actually, there are actually so many things that we do in boot camp. One is like personal hygiene and cleanness, the environment, how you associate with people, how you talk, how you live actually in a community. Because when you go for boot camps, you actually stay like in a dormitory where you all live together, you're meeting different people you've never met before, but you're supposed to stay with them, you do everything together. So there is always a lot that we learn in boot camp.
Okay, interesting. So apart from those things, what is the most outstanding activity in boot camp that helped you stand out among other contestants?
Let me talk for myself. Of course, when you go for boot camp, you do a lot of things. They put up challenges for you, the contestants, to choose the best person in that category. So like for Miss Uganda, we did Miss Talent. There was the sports queen, and then there was the best we didn't have creative wear. And then I stood out for sports because I was good at sports. But besides the activities that we do, I think one of the most important things they teach you is how to be a lady. Besides being a queen, how are you able to present yourself as a lady? Can you do things that a lady does? And then they also teach you public speaking, because as a queen you need to know how to speak to people, because we're going to represent many people in conferences and all those sort of things. So they teach you how to be clean. Like my sisters just said about hygiene, it's something very important at Miss Uganda boot camp. You need to be very clean. So yeah,
that's why we can see the confidence in both of you are talking. So we can tell they really did a good job right there at boot camp, teaching you guys communication skills, how to build your confidence and your self-esteem, all that. So let's talk about the main two beauty pageants that we have here in Westnile. We have Miss Tourism, Westnile, and then Miss Uganda Westnile. Starting with the Miss Tourism Uganda. So now, when you're crowned Miss Tourism Westnile, what do you do with the crown? What are the roles of Miss Tourism?
What I always say is, once they give you a crown, meaning they've given you a responsibility. The crown is not supposed to be that now I have the crown and I keep it home. They've given you a responsibility that you're supposed to, meaning that people have entrusted you to represent them. So first of all, tourism being one of the the ways Uganda gets its revenue, it's actually one of the biggest pageantries. So meaning when they give you the crown, they've trusted you as the ambassador to standing in the gap. Because now Uganda is a very big, like it's a very big country, and they need to be leaders that are allocated so that you reach out to people. That's why they come to the regions before they go to the nationals. So when they give you the crown, meaning you're supposed to stand in the gap for the country. So they give you a responsibility that you're standing for the people. So that's why you find we being ambassadors of the various tourism sites, you speak about them, you reach to them so that people also know what they have, so that they impress them. And I know that so many people that we have, some of them do not even know what we have. So once you stand in the gap and you let them know what we have and impress them, you realize that people start building the interest to actually tour around to check what really exists in the land.
Interesting. So if you're crowned Miss Tourism Westnile, that makes you the tourism, ambassador, the brand ambassador. It's up to you to sell your region and all that. Basically, market your tourism sites and other tourism products in the region. But that is what Miss Tourism does. Miss Tourism Westnile does at its level. So turning to Miss Uganda Westnile, you have a crown and the title. What does that mean?
One of the mottos of Miss Uganda is girl child empowerment. So what we do is we reach out to communities, we speak to the girls. I know right now in Westnile, one of the biggest problems is teenage pregnancies. So if you can, they've entrusted you with this sash and the crown. It's just not a matter of you getting it and maybe slaying, posting pictures and stuff. So you need to get to work. You need to reach out to your communities. It is service above self. You need to know what are the challenges in your community. After that, set goals on how you can achieve those targets you have set. If you want to maybe advocate for something that is in particular, you have to reach out to your people. So to me, it's all about leadership. You need to be a leader for your people because they chose you to represent them. But again, you need to set aside goals. Besides personal life, what can you do for your community that has interested you with this crown?
Okay, that's very interesting. Girl child empowerment is what everyone is looking at. And Westnile having one of the biggest numbers of teenage pregnancies, so she takes that up as one of her advocacies. And that is the beauty with these beauty pageants. It's not about having the crown and the sash and then taking selfies like she said. There's a lot to be done. People ask questions, but what do these queens do? Is it all just attending functions, maybe showing up and saying I'm a queen and all that? We don't see what they do, but I believe there's a lot that the queens do, but maybe people just don't know what they do. But if everything was to be documented, it's a lot. So they are creating a lot of impact in the society. There, you can still be a part of this discussion by going on our YouTube channel, like, subscribe, leave a comment or leave a question, and we'll have your questions answered right here by the beauty queens of Westnile, by the way, of Westnile, yes. And for all those who are catching us, thank you so much, Daphne, Samantha, Fifi, and each and everyone, Scovia. Thank you for the love, Aldo, our producer, and our cameraman out there. Thank you so much. Let's go for a short break, and when we come back, we'll look at why these beauty pageants are important and how it has changed, the face of girl child empowerment and all that. We also want to look at the perception that people have about this beauty pageants. When someone says I want to contest for this, there's an image that people have of you and it's bad. So we want to look at why people see these pageants that way and how we can change these attitudes that people have about these pageants. Thank you for saying this is Real Talk. My name is Lillian Ayot. See you after the break.
Westnile TV, lighting up the region.
Get more for less on Star Times this Easter season. Cartoon channel for best children entertainment. New global series. Local drama on Mercula TV and football all around the world. Simply make weekly or monthly subscription and enjoy upgrade to the next bouquet. For classic or super bouquet customers, subscribe for a month and enjoy 5 days extra. Family time with Star Time.
Sedani hype is the latest, and if you love it, take it down low, take it down low. Vibe we need. Yeah. Introducing Debbie Dancer. Ladies, say shake your body. We're on fire. Debbie Dancer, yeah. What about that? Thank you for vibing with us. What's up? Hey.
Break your body.
So break your body. So break your body. Break your body. We say break. Break, 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 break your body.
Get more for less on Star Times this Easter season. Cartoon channel for best children entertainment. New global series. Local drama on Mercula TV and football all around the world. Simply make weekly or monthly subscription and enjoy upgrade to the next bouquet. For classic or super bouquet customers, subscribe for a month and enjoy 5 days extra. Family time with Star Times. Star Times is regulated by UCC.
Westnile TV, lighting up the region.
Would you want to be a queen and all that? Yes. So this is where you get the questions about being a beauty pageant. I know many girls out there have been wanting to contest, but they have a lot of unanswered questions, and that is why we are here in the studio with the beauty queens. We're discussing beauty pageants and all that. This is the Real Talk with me, Ayot, Lillian, every Saturdays from 8 to 10 p.m. Our repeats go on Thursdays from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. So if you miss it today, you can always do a run on Thursday. Tell a friend to tell a friend, and you can ask questions or leave a comment on our YouTube channel, and also directly put out a question to any queen of your choice here, and they will have the chance to answer that question. Don't die with your questions. So I know a lot of you people ask, have been wanting to know what has made these girls contest for these beauty pageants? What would make and go out there, showcase and walk and talk and do all these things? So we both of them are Celine or Miss Uganda Westnile. What inspired you to go for this pageant?
But anyway, to me it has always been, I love serving. So, and when you're beauty queen, you get to meet a lot of people, you get to serve the community, you get to just talk to people about life. So to me it was just the service. I have the passion for it, but I love service more than my passion actually. I love serving people, yeah.
That's interesting. So passion and the urge to serve people in the community led her to contest for this beauty pageant. So the beautiful Miss Lillian Frida, what inspired you to contest for Miss Tourism Westnile?
Actually, what inspired me was like the previous queens. It not being the first time in the region, you realize there was something different with these people. So it gave me the interest. I'm like, if so and so can do this and can serve the people, being that it's a platform for us, the girl child, I picked interest because of the previous queens. Actually, how they did their things and how they do things, they were so different, and how they served the community. So I'm like, if they can do that, I can also do it. Meaning, getting this platform will give me the opportunity at least to serve the people and also to be like them. Yes, it was an inspiration.
Okay, that's a beautiful one. She drew inspiration from a fellow queen. So we can see how this pageant is actually changing the lives of these girls. Someone is out there where someone doesn't see any sense, another actually sees a lot of sense and is inspired to do things. So that is what pushed her into contesting as Miss Tourism Westnile. Well, that is quite interesting. But the biggest question that still remains unanswered by that many people are seeking answers to is, what is the relevance of these beauty pageants, especially in the rural areas? People don't see, they call for auditions and these girls don't show up. Maybe their parents say no, this. But let's deeply discuss the relevance of these beauty pageants, starting with Miss Celine.
I think one of the most important things the beauty pageants are trying to show us is that they empower women. They want women to be somewhere besides just being a schoolgirl, besides just being someone who goes to work. Can we do something that can make a woman different? So they're trying to empower women, but again, also, if you look at any queen that has gone to any pageant, I do not think they go to a pageant and they come out the same, unless they just don't want. It changes you completely, your confidence, the way you treat people, how you relate with people. You actually become empathetic. You have empathy for people. And to me, that is something very important, because besides being a woman, it gives you a very different perspective of just what a beauty queen is. They are very civilized with the way they do things, and the fact that they love to serve people. It's really very important. So to me, I think it's very important that people actually embrace these beauty pageants and take up their spaces.
Wow. So the aspect of empowerment remains constant. So we cannot run away from the fact that these beauty pageants actually empower these young girls and the women in our society. We all know that empowerment is a great thing, one of the best things that has happened to girls. So what a way to empower these girls? So beauty pageants. Okay, I know someone out there is already, thinking of contesting. Right, go ahead. We're still discussing the relevance and coming to Miss Frida. Why should people embrace those beauty pageants?
What I always say is that if you want change, it starts with you. There's some things in your community, in your region, you feel they're wrong, or you feel they really need someone to do it. So it is you to do it. No one can do it for you. So meaning, take up responsibilities. And it is also upon us now, like people who are come up to stand in, we should sensitize the community, telling them that it is not a specific person or specific kind of groups that are supposed to aspire for such things. Meaning anyone who is willing, and you know that you have the person to do this, it can really help you, because as Queen Celine said, it doesn't leave you the same again. If there is anything in your life you dream to do, like maybe you want to speak to people, or maybe you want to serve your people, or you want to build on something about yourself, this is the platform.
Interesting. I love how you say pageants are for everyone, regardless of a lot of things. So that brings us to the question, these beauty pageants have evolved a lot. We see people, those years it used to be for petite people, small, beautiful, slender and all that. But now we see, girls who are plus size, we see short queens, we see all that coming in. So there's that aspect of inclusiveness. So how has that changed, the society?
Actually, this one has changed society in a way that now people are trying to start changing the mentality of seeing that beauty queens are supposed to be slim, or they're supposed to be tall, or they're supposed to be slender. It has actually boosted confidence among others. Like the ones who are not slim, they will say, at least there is this pageantry where I can fit. Meaning there will be no discrimination, there will be no limitations, whether you're short, whether you're kind of thick, whether you're slim, as long as you have the person to serve, you have the person to stand, you will do it.
Okay, that is quite interesting. So always go for what you want. It's not about the physical appearance. It's not about the this. I know how short girls have beat tall girls in this contest. Okay, someone is tall, has the beauty, has the everything, and then there's this short one who comes and has the walks, has the poise, has the confidence, has the all this. So that these things are not limited. So go for whichever pageant you want but going for the right one is also important. So turning to Celine, these pageants we believe come with a lot of things. There are these challenges. You want to look deep into these challenges that you face as beauty queens, ranging starting from the time you're contesting, then when you're in office, when doing advocacy and all that. But I want to specifically point at cyberbullying. I know when the contestants are put out there for voting and all this, there's a lot that is put on the internet. People write comments about your body shaming, saying things about this. So how do you deal with all that?
Talking about cyberbullying, let me first give an example. When they crowned Miss Uganda Westnile, because we were the first region they crowned. So Star Times aired our auditions after crowning night, and someone actually commented, "None of these girls is pretty." I was like, whoa. So it comes with a lot. People are going to say whatever they want. That's, of course, when you're coming to this industry, you should expect that not everyone is going to like you, yeah. But then at the same time, know your whys, yeah. Be intentional about the reasons why you're going for a pageant. If you want to go for a pageant because you want to please people, it's going to fail. Because you cannot please everyone. Even the current Miss Uganda, people talk shit about her, but that doesn't give you does not have to lower your morale to serve your people. Know why you go for a beauty pageant. As long as you are intentional about it, trust me, no negative energy can destroy that. Nothing at all. So to me, I think people should be intentional. Don't just go because you want to slay, you want to do all those funny things, you want to please people. But go with a purpose. Go with a purpose, and trust me, your purpose will be about people's words. Cyberbullying will come, people talk whatever they want, but just leave it to them. The ones who know you, the ones who know that you're doing work for the community, they will appreciate you.
Okay, that is that. So, Ms. Frida, how did you deal with cyberbullying?
Actually, what I always do is I pay deaf ear, and sometimes I assume I'm not saying it, it's not meant for me. Because whatever thing you say about me is not what really it is. That's why before I even went, I remember I was told that you should get ready for rejection. You should get ready, because not everyone is going to be there for you, not everyone is going to support this. But you should just be ready for anything that comes in. So putting it in yourself that this you're having two sides that will come, so nothing will put you down.
Okay, there's a lot to be said about cyberbullying when it comes to these beauty pageants. Well, anyway, in case you don't know, I'm the reigning Miss Tourism Westnile 2022-2023. So I'd like to give a live example. You know, when they rolled out our photos for the very first time, the first comment that came out was, all these girls don't have nyash. And everyone felt like, oh my god, that was so harsh. Okay, we couldn't. Okay, some of us couldn't take it. You know, it reaches a point when some of the protestants want to pull down because it was a lot. These girls don't have nyash. They don't even have a face card. These girls can't write a proposal, and there was a lot going on. So, you know, what I would kindly want to put out is when these beauty pageants are meant to boost the confidence and self-esteem of girls in the society. So every negative comment you put out pulls them backwards. So indirectly you're killing someone's dream and you're killing someone's self-esteem and all that. So please be kind with your comments when you're putting out these comments. Instead, let's show more support to these girls. For example, you have a contestant from Westnile. I think it only makes sense when we all support this person regardless of the beauty or of anything, but that is a discussion for another day. I love what you said about rejection. So how, you know, we all know there are always there's a queen at the end of this contest. There's a queen, there's a second runner-up, there's a first runner-up, and there are these girls who go with the high expectations in this contest. So how can you prepare someone to deal with rejection? What would be your advice to these girls when they're going for these pageants?
What I will say is dealing with rejection, I know it hurts, it's not easy, but going for this pageantry knowing that there are two answers or two results, there is a possibility of you winning and there is a possibility of you not winning. So you should prepare yourself emotionally, like before doing this, because now, like, if you win, then all hell to you. But if you don't, it shouldn't really kill your dream. Like, it is not the end. You can still go again, because once they've crowned you, you're not supposed to go again. But once you haven't been crowned, you can still do it. Meaning, right now, when you have been rejected, like when you didn't make it, the next time you do it, it will be much better. Like, you will come out better because now you've gained experience, you know how things are done, and you will really do better. So I would say that once you go for this pageantry and you realize you've not made it, it shouldn't kill your morale. It shouldn't just say that enough is enough, I am not going for it. Actually, it should be a stepping stone that if someone can do it, I can also do it. People do take retakes, people receive classes, but it doesn't mean that you drop out of school. You still continue to do that. So I would say that rejections are real, and then you should go prepared knowing that you either win or you lose. And if you lose, we always, I love it when they usually tell us that you go and they call us graceful
ambassadors.
Graceful losers. So you clap for your friends, you clap for the people who have made it. So it should really give you the zeal that next time people should clap for you. So you shouldn't give up.
Okay, that is quite touching right there. So what she is saying is that you should go there knowing that two things: you either win or you become a graceful ambassador. In Mr. Jerome's voice, I would put it. You know, he says the rest of you are going to clap and you'll be graceful ambassadors. So she says don't give up. You don't have to give up. You know, the beauty with these pageants is if you don't make it in this one, you can try another year, and there are quite a number of pageants you can try somewhere. So these rejections are there. Of course, some people look for specific things. Know that you do not have it, but maybe you have what they don't want. You don't have the things that they need. You have it, but they don't see it in you and all that. But it shouldn't take down your confidence or your self-esteem. Always keep your head high. And turning to Celine, you know, how would you advise a girl right now to take these rejections? Because there are a lot of girls who have never shown their face easily in public after going for this beauty pageants, because a lot comes with it. Like we say, the cyberbullying and all that, the low self-esteem that comes with it and all that. How would you advise a girl to cope up with such?
There's something beautiful about Miss Uganda. Miss Uganda does not believe that we are losers. And they used to just tell us, you guys are all winners, and I was wondering, what does this mean? Until I left camp. You guys, when I left camp, like you enter or you go to downtown, people who used to watch us on Star Times, they do not know you as a loser. They call you as Miss Uganda.
Sure.
I used to wonder why they'll tell us in boot camp, you guys are all winners, you guys are all winners. But that doesn't make you, because first of all, there's a reason why they organize different categories of things. There's a reason why they put Miss Talent, there's a reason why they put a sports queen, meaning that these categories cannot all go to one person. So they keep dividing it to different people who are good at that. Even if you do not get the title of maybe Miss Tourism or you are not in top 3, but you walk out totally different. There's nothing like we are losers. In Miss Uganda, we do not believe that anyone is a loser. Like, imagine out of the entire country, you are among the top 20 girls who were taken for this. Why would you call yourself a loser? So besides that, I will just tell girls that you are not a loser, much as just get the confidence and go for this. So if you go for it, trust me, you're already a winner. You already have the zeal and the confidence that to go above what you can imagine. Just imagine, out of all the girls in Uganda, you're in the top finalists, top 20, top 10. Like, that is already a win for you. So don't take yourself as a winner. When you go for boot camp, you just need to be very disciplined about everything. I do not believe in losing.
Okay.
I believe that people take risks and they fail, but you cannot succeed if you do not fail. So I don't believe in that one, being a loser. Sorry.
It's okay. So what she simply says is keep positive. Have it in mind that you are a winner. Yeah, we all believe by the fact that you took a step to register for this contest, go show your face, be in front of people, talk and do that. You are already a winner and you can still do things without the crown. Wearing the crown and the sash does not define you, okay? So you can actually leave an impact, still do your advocacy without the crown and the sash, because you being a queen is not determined by the sash or the crown and all that, but they're also necessary. So we're still looking at the challenges that these beauty queens face. You know, being crowned and then you go out to do your work. I believe there are a lot of challenges you people face. The first being that, people talk a lot. These people are just crowned, they attend events, they don't do work, they don't do this. So are you guys... I want to know if the projects are funded, what kind of support you people are given, and is it true that some of those beauty queens actually don't do work? Okay. All right.
Whenever it comes to that question, it hurts. It really does.
Yes.
And one truth I want to tell the world is that these queens are really trying their best. One, the projects are not funded. You who writes a project, you are the queen who writes a project, you entirely look for the funders. Like, you look for them yourself. You can't say that so and so should do something for me. Like, even writing the project, you do it on your own. Like, no one, unless you go for... I remember when I wrote my project, like, I'd never written a project before. So I asked this person, like, would you help me write? And he was asking for 500,000, which I didn't have. Like, writing a report? I give you 500,000, more than my salary. So, but it didn't press me down. I'm like, but what does it take to write a project? So I remember going to Junior Jeff. Actually, he told me he had ever written projects, so he gave me a copy. Like, there are people there who can help you out. So if you go and you don't get help, it doesn't mean that you should just let it go. of course you have a goal, you have something that you want to do. So it takes you yourself. No one funds your project unless you look for the funders. And no one writes for you a project unless you start it out. So these queens are doing a lot of things on their own. We do not have managers, maybe who, like especially I'm talking about the tourism. I don't know whether you have someone who is already there helping you out, but everything is literally on you. You do it yourself. So sometimes you realize that you don't have funds, you don't have much support, and then you realize that it breaks them. And some of these queens are students. So why do you expect them to get money? And they may be at school. How do you expect them to do something when even they're needed in the class? When they have coursework, when they have so many things. So these ladies are doing a lot of things. And if you don't see it, meaning you're not the one, you are not actually seeing anything. At least a queen does something. Even if you see them in school speaking to someone, it's that effort. It's really that effort. They're doing a lot for the community, but the support system, I am not saying that it is not there, but it is too small. It is too little that it takes you almost 100% to do everything. But these queens are doing their best.
That's great. Touching. I know a lot of people say these queens don't do anything. They just sit, look pretty, take selfies and post. But like she has said, there's a lot that is involved. These queens are not funded. So you write your project, it's entirely on you. There's no support. You have to move from office to office, pitching and all that. And when nobody takes up your looks through your concept note or your proposal, then that is where it stops. These queens all have beautiful advocacies that they have, the written proposals that they have, but they lack funds. And so they do things that are within their reach. One thing I love about these Westnile beauty queens, they have been so passionate about empowering this girl child and creating a positive change in the community. You've been seeing them go to schools, talking to students on radio talk shows, TV talk shows to reach out to the community. So if you're still judging them, saying they're not doing things on ground, I would kindly advise you to, change your mentality just a little bit. So we're still turning to Celine. She talked specifically to the challenges that apply to Miss Stories in Westnile. So we want to look at some of the challenges that you are already facing in your term of office as Miss Uganda Westnile.
Of course, I love to add on how boys social say, most time they just crown us and they leave everything to you, yeah? So you have to start from zero. Now for me it was really a very big challenge. Like this is the first time they were doing Miss Uganda Westnile. Where do you start from? Funds, it's a very huge thing, because trust me, there's nothing you can do as a queen when you do not have fun. I don't know if you will understand. But funds a big thing. You do not have resources. Like everything is on you. I remember some of us are students. Some of us just graduated. So we're the jobless youth. So we're like, where do I start? Yet you need to do something for the community. So funds are really a big thing, but I think with my reign, one of the things I've learned, one of the most important things I've learned is that learn to surround yourself with good people. Because me, the team I'm working with, these guys giving their all. They are so effortless. They're supporting me without even me giving them a dime. And they're like, Celine, let's just push this. Never know where it's taking us. So people are going to judge us that we are just sitting. But when you go to them and ask for help, they'll actually say, we don't have. True. And you're like, okay, you want me to work, but how do I work? These funds do not necessarily have to be money. It's just like maybe I get a group of people, I come to an office and say, maybe just give us a little facilitation to go to a school for a school visit, and we just talk to students, just that. And then people give this nasty attitude towards queens, but people are going to judge us. That's one thing I'm going to tell that any young girl who is coming up. But if you have passion, besides the people who judge you, there are also people who are going to support you. Because the organizations, for myself, I'm going to speak for myself, the organizations who are actually willing to support me in my cause, if they do not partner with me, they actually give me funds. So those are the few genuine ones. But I think one of the many challenges queens actually face is that they do not have funds to support their projects. Yet these are very brilliant, intelligent girls who want to do a lot of work for people, but they just do not have funds. You write projects, just like my sister said, you write projects and someone is like, I need 500K to write for this project. And you know when you go to an organization for funds, they need something legit. They need something that is up standard. So if you can give me 500K, we can start from there. So it's really a big challenge. I think to most queens, that is one of the biggest challenges, lack of funds.
Okay, so there you've heard it from the queens directly. You know, they face a lot of challenges right from the time they contest, and then, you know, when they're crowned in the field, from challenges of not having funds to implement their projects, and then people having all this negative attitude, and there is a lot that is to be talked about. You know, we need to appreciate these queens because they stood out, they came out because they want to create a positive impact in the society. So the least we can do is show them support, more love than hate and all that, so that they can successfully actually carry out their projects. You know, their organizations, their companies that can come and actually sponsor their, you know, their projects, advocacies, they can partner and all that. So that is what we are calling for. Let's go for a short break, but when we come back, we are going to look at the expectations that people have. You know, people have high expectations about these queens. Some say you're not supposed to be walking on the street, always using a judge and all that. But today we want to discuss all that, and we also want to specifically look at why people think pageants are bad things. You know, they are a lot of things also, like prostitution and all that. That will be our discussion when we come back from this break. Don't go away.
Westnile TV, lighting up the region.
Get more for less on Star Times this Easter season. Cartoon channel for best children entertainment. New global series. Local drama on Makula TV and football all around the world. Simply make weekly or monthly subscription and enjoy upgrade to the next bouquet. For classic or super bouquet customers, subscribe for a month and enjoy 5 days extra. Family time with Star Times. Star Times is regulated by UCC.
Yeah! Sadani Hype is latest. And if you love it, take it down low, take it down low. Vibe we need. Yeah. Introducing Debbie Dancer. Ladies. Say shake your body. We're on fire. Debbie Dancer, yeah. What about that? Thank you for vibing with us. What's up? Hey.
Break your body.
So break your body. So break your body. Break your body. We say break. Break, 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 break your body.
Westnile TV, lighting up the region.
Yes, we are still on the Real Talk with me, Ayot, Lillian, and thank you for joining us. If you've just joined us right now, you can join this discussion and leave your comment or a question on our YouTube channel directly to our beauty queens. Today we are discussing beauty queens pageantry, and that is it. We want to, most of you have been asking questions. Why do they organize this, miss that? What do they do? What impact do they leave in our community and all that? So we've discussed all that. If you've missed it, you can catch our repeats on Thursdays from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. every Thursdays right here on Westnile TV. So the discussion is becoming very interesting. There's a lot of expectations that people have about this beauty contests and all that. I see our comments on YouTube coming. Someone says, for me who comes from deep in the village here in Oluko, how else sorry, I'll continue with the comment later on, but we're still looking at the expectations that people have about these beauty queens. Someone once said, you're walking on the street, how do people feel when they see you walking on the street when you should be taking a judge because you are a queen? So a lot comes with it. First of all, before we go into that, are beauty queens paid? That is the biggest question that people have been wanting to know. Are you paid for your roles?
What I will say is that there is no payment. No salary. There is no salary, there is no payment, but what pays you is your hard work. There are things that you do that will pay you off, but no salary. Your expectation should be that you're actually doing a charity work. Yes.
Okay, so it's typically charity. I want to believe that is from Miss Tourism. Let's see if Miss Uganda pays their queens. Do they?
No, they do not pay you. Yeah, you don't get anything like a monthly salary. Okay. But just like my sister said, when you do service, when you do community outreaches, God will actually bless you in some other way. But salary, no, we are not paid. Yeah.
So those are some of the most asked questions. People ask, are you guys paid? So every time I feel like slapping someone. Are you guys paid? So that also comes with a lot of expectations. As queens, they expect you to always show up, always be glamorous, elegant, wherever you go and all that. So how have you dealt with all these expectations that people have? Is it that always you're supposed to be a queen, even when you're at home, you behave queenly, everything is a queen, or you have a life that you actually live outside your queenship? How do you deal with those kinds of expectations?
How I deal with that is actually people's expectation doesn't define me. They don't. Because your expectation should be that I live a life which I am not. I can't live a fake life. So your expectations of how a queen is supposed to be, okay, there are those standards where you really say, but this is a queen, she's supposed to do this. They are there, but it doesn't mean that the way I live should actually be, maybe, my dad even say, but how do you guys, I know some of you guys, how do you eat? How do, those questions. But the fact is, they may teach you how to be elegant, how to be like a queen, how to do things queenly, but it doesn't mean that your day-to-day life should be that way. Because there are some things that really, now especially your projects, when you're running them, you're walking on foot, you're meeting people. You can't be walking like a queen. Will you finish the offices? Because you may have so many places to go to. Of course, I can wear my sandals and if you see me running, just don't say anything, because I really have a goal that I want to achieve. So it doesn't make me, maybe it doesn't let me be like I be, acting queenly, and yet what you're chasing doesn't really need that at that time. But the fact is, at some point, you are also supposed to be elegant. You're supposed to portray your brand, because being a queen, that is already your brand. And then people should also see that, hey, this is a queen. At least you should look distinct, but it doesn't define you. It doesn't mean that you do things to please people. When work is to be done, it is to be done. If it is to walk, you walk. If it is to run, you run. If you also get a chance to board a judge, you board. That is it.
Okay, that is very interesting. You know, those expectations, people's expectations do not have to define you, and that's what Queen Frida says. So, Miss Lillian, how do you deal with all these expectations that people have about, you know, you being a queen and all that?
You see, one of the most funniest things people really expect you as a queen to do is not to walk on the streets, not to take a judge. Guys, like, I just wish people could take that out of their head. I'm a queen, yes, but they did not give me a car. So when they were crowning me, there was no price. There was no price for a car. I'm just in my early 20s, and people want you to already buy a car for yourself. Like, really, we are all struggling. So I think people should just get that thing is queens are human beings. Yeah, we are human beings who are trying to develop ourselves. Of course, when the prices come, if they give you a car, of course I'll stop going or stop overworking. I'll use my car where necessary. But Bambi, when you find me on the streets walking on a judge, don't get shocked. I'm also a human being like you. I cannot afford a car right now, which is okay. But later, maybe I can afford. But people should, I think, put in their minds that even queens are just human beings like them. And then people, I think, expect us to act in some kind of way. Of course, when I'm going for a fine dining, I'm going to be so elegant. I'm going to use the tools well. I'm going to know how to hold my glass. But when my mother brings for me, I know. Of course, I'll sit down, like a liberal woman, and use my hands to eat that food. I'm not going to act so elegant in front of my parents.
Yeah.
Those are the people who raised me up. I'm not going to stop kneeling because I'm a queen. That is one thing I've grown to do. I'll kneel for my elders. I will be humble in front of anyone who comes, but there's nothing that is going to change who I am just because I'm a queen. So to me, people's expectations do not define us, and they're not going to change who we are. We had a life before being a queen. People should get that, and yeah.
That's very, very interesting. I pray it sinks into the mind of all of you out there. You know, these queens are human beings. Before they went for this contest, they had a life. You know, someone once asked me, you know, you're walking, how would people feel seeing you walk as a queen? So first of all, I told them, I have a life. Before the title, I have my name. That bears no title. So if it calls for, you know, when duty calls, I show up as a queen with my crown and my sash, elegant and very glamorous, as it's supposed to be. But outside that, you know, someone has their career.
Yeah.
So like you play roles, you play the different roles. You don't have to carry your sash and, you know, your crown everywhere you're going.
Just to add on that, actually, there was a time someone phoned me in Koboko and gone for a site visit. Like, oh, if a new queen, you go for site visit. I'm like, really? Like, this is how I earn. This is how I feed. So am I supposed to carry heels to go for a site visit? People, I think people should just get that out of their head.
Yeah, there's a lot going on there. We have a question, more a comment and a question at the same time from Bimax, who says, for me, who comes from the deep village in here in Oluko, how else can I vote for a beauty pageant other than the online system? And so I think he's asking how he can vote for a contestant. By the way, currently we have a beauty pageant that is ongoing. That is Miss Tourism Westnile 2023-2024. They've already rolled out the candidates for voting. So he's asking how he can vote for a candidate. We'll have Miss Frida answer that.
Thank you for your question. What I can say is our voting is strictly online. Like, it's just online. You can't do it like the way they do, like you line up and vote, or you have a place where you can place your vote. No, it's just online.
Okay, so it's only online. I believe the links that are shared, you tap on the link, it takes you to a platform where you can actually tap on your candidate and vote for your favorite candidate. So that is it with the online voting. And we have another who said, can a married woman contest in a beauty pageant? I don't know who wants to answer.
I think I'll take that.
Okay.
I think there are titles. The title of Miss like this is Miss, so you do not have to be married. But there are beauty pageants that have Mrs. So if you're married, you can go for Mrs. But this strictly is not for married people.
Okay, and I think recently, is it Miss World or Miss Universe has actually allowed married women to
Miss Universe.
contest? Yeah, Miss Universe, married women to contest. And for this beauty contest that strictly say Miss, I know most of them, one of the requirement is that you are not supposed to be married or have a child or anything. So there are some beauty pageants that are inclusive, so you go for those kinds of beauty pageants. I pray we have answered your question. And now we want to look. You want to add something?
The reason why they always say that it should be Miss is, now, like the responsibilities that we carry, like it's literally on you. So the reason why they chose people who are not married is like they feel that we have lesser responsibilities. Maybe when they call you at a specific time, you get time and go. But now you being married, you have a responsibility, you have a family to look after, maybe you have a child to look after. They're actually letting you handle that responsibility. They don't want to add on you another stress. That's why they always say that it should be someone who is not married, because they know they can at least not have that excuse of saying my child is sick, or someone like my husband is not allowing me to do this. So that's why it's actually supposed to, like, we have given opinions like, why can't we allow maybe like the single mothers to contest? Actually, that was the reason they gave us. It's actually letting you handle other responsibilities.
Okay. That is very, 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 very interesting and very, very, I don't know how I can put it out to the organizers for being so inclusive, allowing that in the beauty pageants. So as we wind up, I would ask this question. We know these beauty pageants and the queens themselves face a lot. One of the biggest challenges are the image people have of these girls, when they roll out in society, because they think otherwise some do things in order to get a title, and these pageants are associated with prostitution, a lot of things, some pay. People even ask whether some of these pageants are actually genuine, because they believe the winners don't get what they rightfully are supposed to get, they crown different people and all that. So what would you, as we wind up in a minute, what would you put out to the public, to the community about the negative attitude they have about pageants?
To me, I think pageants, the negative attitude comes from people who do not understand what pageantry is. Because you as a woman, when you're going for such things, you're going to face a lot of things from men. Men are going to ask you all the stupid questions they need. Someone can even inbox like, I want to sleep with you openly. And then as a woman, how do you take on the challenges? My mom always tells me, value yourself as a woman. Know what you put out there. So if a guy comes up asking you such questions, how are you going to deal with that? Are you going to give it much attention? Are you going to give in to such questions? So to me, I think much as people feel like beauty pageants are quite attributed to prostitution, I would love to rule it out. I'm from a very good Christian family. So to me, it's just someone's mentality towards it, your perspective towards it, and how you value yourself as a woman.
Okay, interesting. Ms. Frida, how can you change someone's perception of beauty pageants, the negative perceptions that they have about beauty pageants?
What I would say is, I am a woman. If there was anything, like they have given us the platform, like to stand for the girl child, if there was anything degrading us, I would come and say that no one should contest. I would say that it is like this, but that is not the case. It's actually one of the pageantries we have in Westnile. Let me just say, they're actually decent, very decent. And you realize that even the organizers and everyone around us, they do not ask that. And you realize it is people that you are serving who come up with such questions. You get the point? Like, people around you value it, they actually know what it is all about, and they know what they want to bring out of you. But now you see someone who doesn't understand what you're doing, thinks that this is what you do. So what I want to say is pageantry is not a prostitutional ground. It is not. We wouldn't come and sit here and say that we are standing for girl child and yet we are prostitutes or our dignity has been ruled off. So that is not it. It is very different, and I'll say it again and again that any person, any girl, any lady who wants to stand should do it because it is very okay.
Okay, thank you so much, and that does it for today's discussion. Thank you for catching us, everyone out there, and to our beautiful queens, Miss Celine Jackie Asiwazio, Miss Uganda Westnile, thank you for joining us, and Miss Lenya Frida, our Miss Tourism Westnile, thank you for joining us, and to you, our viewers, thank you for staying with us. Shout outs to all those who are catching the show from wherever you are, to our producer Aldo and our cameraman for doing a great job. Yes, and today I believe after this discussion you have actually learned to value, to see some sense in these beauty pageants and be more supportive of these girls, when they decide to, contest for these pageants, because it's for a good cause. I pray we all see that. See you again next weekend, that is on Saturday. And for all those who have missed the discussion, you can catch it on YouTube, and also our repeats go on Thursdays from 9 a.m. to 10 to 11 a.m. and every Saturdays 8 to 10 p.m. we are here on Westnile TV. See you again. Stay for keep locked to your screen for the next program, that is the Late Night Show with MC Melon and Simon Living. Have a blessed weekend.